Well, welcome to the Chapped A Podcast, a face for radio, Coach.
We're in a three-peat.
We're on a three-peat. That's right. That's right. We're heading for the quadfecta, but we're working on the
Right.
three-peat right now. So, hey, episode number 3 is dropping, Coach. I couldn't be happier. I appreciate you being here, man.
Appreciate you having me.
So let's catch up on the weekend first before we get deep into sports. I want to kind of hear about your weekend. Did you do anything special?
You know, it's spending time with my wife, watch some stuff, watch NASCAR, watch Talladega, watch the big one.
The big one, baby.
And if you haven't watched that, you got to, because
nasty.
that might have been the biggest accident and crash I've ever seen in NASCAR. And then, you know, you watching, I'm probably going to botch his name, Carson Hocevar.
Yes.
Carson Hocevar won his first NASCAR race. A lot of that had to do probably with the wreck.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're down to half the field, so.
Well, we watched the wreck, and you see those 4 cars in the front. It's like, oh my gosh, how good would it be to be those 4 cars looking in the rear view?
You feel like you look back and go, whoo, that was close.
Woo-wee.
Right? Woo. That's a Southern thing right there. Woo-wee.
That's right.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I watched a little hockey. On top of that, I watched the last night. I watched the Oilers and the Ducks. They went to overtime, and the Ducks beat the Oilers in overtime in a shot. I always like watching the overtimes and hockey.
Get the puck out of here.
Yeah, get the puck out of here.
Get
the puck out of here.
NHL, that's ice,
cool.
right?
Yeah, that's ice. Yeah.
It's summertime.
But you know what? There's a lot of cool sports going on, a lot of cool things you could watch. I was going to watch golf, but my boy Chris Kirk and his partner, they didn't even make the cut in New Orleans. So, like, forget that. I'm not going to watch it because I really don't care at that point, because it's.
So we don't want to have him on the show till he makes a cut. Is that correct?
No, he'll make a cut. He's actually doing
yes.
Good. But you know, I watched some other sports other than basketball. I did watch the Hawks. You know, they took care of business on. I told you they were probably going to take care of business on the first night. Then the Knicks got a little.
That was a thriller Friday.
Yeah, thriller. I mean, I even was texting
you. Me all night.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great game. And that was during the draft, first round of the draft. I'm like, forget the draft. I'm watching the Hawks Knicks.
You also woke up in time to text me that I was wrong about 2 or 3 things on the draft as well. So I appreciate you letting me know all that too.
I was like, no. Well, I took the over. And
right.
You're like, oh, this is the number. Oh,
never. That's why we don't gamble.
That's why. But you know, then the Knicks finally woke back on up, and they played bully ball. They stopped the Hawks from actually doing anything offensively, and they played some good tight D, and I think the Hawks were kind of taken aback by that. So
playoff basketball defense wins championships, period.
Yeah.
I mean, period. In the NBA, especially in college basketball, defense is the
that
key.
And making sure that you have a stud.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
So other than that, it was great to spend some time with my wife. We did some cool things around town, around our house. We went out to Roswell. I've never been down to the Roswell Mill area. There's like walking paths. There's like 7 miles worth of walking paths. We went with some friends, John and Ann Sheffield, and there's a falls over there, and it's really kind of cool history about Georgia. Never done it. Been here over 30 years, so something new, something.
First time for everything. That's right.
What about you? What'd you end up?
Oh, man.
I know your wife had a birthday.
Yes, Meredith, happy birthday. Her birthday was Saturday. She turned 29 again.
Yep.
And so we went up, we bought some.
Don't we all?
Yes, right. Well, I certainly don't look 29 again, but maybe 29 twice. Right. But so we went up to the Between the Hedges tour for her birthday. So we went and saw Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Zach Top, and Lorena Elena. And we had a good time up there. And as a teaser, I got up there early Friday. Yeah, got up there early Friday.
That's
got
awesome.
got a first offsite interview.
You know, one of the guys that's been following us, Adam Baum.
Yeah,
he was up there.
Oh shoot! I wish I'd have known. I've been going back and forth with him a little bit.
He was up there, and he actually had some pictures with Jason Aldean.
Yeah,
he posted them online. So
well, I did not interview Aldean. I did not. Interview Brian,
but he was up there. He was up there doing stuff
awesome.
for his radio station, and so
shout out to Adam Baum. Can I get some connections on tickets next time, Adam, please? I know you got the grip right there, baby.
That's right.
But so yeah, and again, just teasing that first interview offsite. I know we've already done one together, and then I went offsite. Got me a big dog up there in the Georgia football program that we'll be dropping next week. So excited about that too. More to come on that. Yeah. But so today, I think what we ought to try to cover, because it was a big weekend. I think you already touched on NASCAR, which was huge with the big one.
Oh, the big one.
The big one.
I'm telling you,
guys, go Google that.
If people don't watch NASCAR, but people watch it to watch that.
Well, most people watch hockey for fights. I got to be honest. They don't watch it for scoring for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but you're looking at NASCAR. I mean, no one wants to look at 1,000 left turns. you
Right.
know?
That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
And they don't even use blinkers.
No.
That's crazy. Maybe if they use blinkers or stick their hand signal, it would be the big one.
Right.
But today, let's get into the draft because we got 3 days of the NFL draft to cover, and I think that's going to be kind of cool.
Sure.
We'll dig pretty deep into that. Maybe tie that into some fantasy relevance or whatever. You know, I know we're fantasy dorks, so we want to make sure we get that in there.
Exactly.
And then let's get a MLB, a Major League Baseball wrap up and brag on our home team Braves because they're killing it. And then
do we want to talk about, like, because we did talk a little local.
yeah, no, we definitely want to get into local. And as we get into local, Coach, I will kick it over to you right now. What can you tell me about some local sports in Cherokee County?
Well, Cherokee County, because, you know, that's the county that we all live in, and this is our home. Our girls' softball team, slow pitch softball, which, you know, who thought about slow pitch softball?
Right.
Slow pitch softball's for men like us.
Right. Old guys, old big
But,
riggers.
you know, we actually have that in the state of Georgia. And our 2 teams that were in the state championship, Cherokee High School and Creekview High School,
Shout out.
pretty close together in relative for our county. They met up in the championship with Creekview coming away with a win.
Awesome. Playing for the state championship in the biggest, second biggest classification in Georgia.
And they also won.
So they're back to back, fast pitch, slow pitch, fast pitch, slow pitch. Coach Jen Maloney, has got an outstanding program.
Yeah.
She runs up at Creekview High School.
Jen has done a great job
Yes,
up there.
fantastic, and she's an awesome lady.
And the girls' sports up there have been fantastic.
Absolutely.
I think their girls' basketball team with Eric Hendrick. Herrick, yeah. I don't know why I meant Hendrick.
We're just going to stick you with first names for the future.
Eric Herrick. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
And he took them all the way to the state championship in girls basketball. So Creekview girls sports are rolling.
Absolutely.
Their lacrosse team, their girls lacrosse team is getting a bye. All 6 of our county high school teams, girls and guys, are in the state playoffs, which is pretty cool.
Right.
In 2 different classifications. Baseball, we had great stuff going on.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the Etowah Eagles and the Bird Gang. Again, that's more of our school where my kids have gone, or 2 of my 3 have gone, and then you're obviously been there for 53 years, you said? You started when you were born?
50 years of school there. I mean, no.
Yeah, well, you've been there for the larger half of those 50 years.
Yeah, I've been over there now almost 35.
But when we tell you about how talented the Cherokee County area is for every sport you just mentioned in female sports, which shout out to all those ladies teams out there and those ladies programs. They're phenomenal up at Creekview, and we've been competing in them. Obviously, my daughter's in that similar area in Graydon. We've been competing against those.
I think
ladies.
everything at Etowah made state playoffs but one sport.
Yeah.
So
you know, that's pretty impressive.
The spring. So spring sports are pretty big in our school, just because of the area. Our girls soccer team was just stuck in a very hard region.
Right.
And I know that they had a pretty good year, but they just couldn't crack into that top 4 slot.
And we don't have slow pitch softball, so that's not something we could technically compete in this year. So that's kind of an optional sport. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to the Bird Gang, Coach G-Rob, and the Etowah Eagles baseball team. They took 2 of 2 from Harrison High School in a big playoff matchup.
They did.
I just want to quote a few stats here. These bomb hitters.
I was actually able to watch this
in person, right?
Yes,
I was up in Athens watching them Game Changer, which was cool too.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's wrong with this guy? But no, but just bombs away, right? Bomb. Caden Borcherding, Clemson commit we talked about, #1 catcher in high school as a junior, 2 home runs, 1 in each game. Trevor Condon, second game, the closeout game, leadoff home run, solo shot, and I'm talking about crushing. Have you seen? I know you saw live the videos. Yeah, but just watching the videos, the sound that thing makes off the bat. But then
Borcherding's, to me, was a bigger bomb than Condon's.
Those are man-child.
Because he went deep center with the extended height of the field, of the fence.
Yeah.
So that was a moonshot.
No doubters, right?
Yeah. Oh, God.
But Condon comes back in second inning, hits a granny, not a leadoff, but a grand slam to kind of get us back to the lead because I think we've given it up a little bit.
Yep.
But again, I want to give a little bit to Matthew Sharman getting the win, 6 1/3, 6 Ks. And then let's see who else we got. Sophomore Anderson, he hit a bomb.
Yep.
Carson Moore hit a bomb.
I'm glad Colin Anderson finally got one.
Yeah.
Because he's been hitting that. I mean, to me, it's a sophomore slump.
Right.
And he had a great freshman year, sophomore. he went way up in the rankings and players. But you know what? Colin is a great player, and he's just had a little hard time. I think every sophomore, it's kind of weird. Sophomore jinx, right?
Yeah, sophomore slump. That's right.
Sophomore slump. So, I think next 2 years are going to be big for him too. So.
And then shout out to my boy Nate Curcio. He got the winning game too, and he hit a home run. He hit a shot over the left field.
He
ball.
helped himself.
He helped himself. That's right.
I'm going to tell you, Billy, his dad.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to him, and he even called it. Like,
right.
It was like, he goes, it's time to put one in the trees today.
Yeah.
And he literally, the next pitch, bam, into the trees.
And
he looks at me, he goes, told you I called that one.
I love it.
It was
good
awesome.
for them.
He was excited for himself on that one. He goes, I called that.
He went 6 strong innings. They have a couple runs, but I think he had 6 Ks as well. So they're so deep. He's a Jacksonville State commit.
He went a complete.
Yeah. Oh, did he finish it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, the stats aren't updated on that.
I think so. I think he went complete.
Okay, I got 6 1/3 on that, but I'll go with that. All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations to that team as they advance. I think they play Denmark on Friday in a doubleheader at Denmark.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of left a little early because I knew we were. I knew the game was over, and I told Condon's mom, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna beat the traffic out like Truist. And she looks at me like looking around like, yeah, okay. It was late. It was almost 11 o'clock.
Right.
I mean, that was long doubleheader.
Trust me, I was sitting in the same seat at an Athens bar waiting on my son to finish working for about 5.5 hours, and I was just glued to Game Changer instead of the draft. So it was pretty cool. But but before we do anything else, Coach, I want to shout out to some subscribers and get them to smash our subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, which we've gotten way more reviews than we would have ever thought of, and it's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, and they're positive. And they're positive.
I have people text me, your voice really isn't that bad.
Right.
I'm like, well, let's push that one a little bit.
It hurts our ears, but
it
maybe
hurts
not
my
theirs.
ears. But when I hear it, it's always a little cringy when you hear your own voice.
But I know there's some followers talking about being from New Mexico. Deb from New Mexico, shout out to her, and Kiki or KK, and then we got people from Texas all over flooding our stuff.
Well, when I was sitting next to Billy, I told him about it, and I saw that he listened to it.
Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic.
Appreciate it, Curcio. Thanks for the shout out, and congratulations to your boys playing great ball too. So,
he has, and his other son,
Will's killing it. Well, that's I grew up with Will.
Will's and he's crushing it.
Yeah,
so.
Well, I'm not surprised, and he's a grown man now.
Yeah,
too,
he's now a man.
But I'd like to have both of them on the show at some point too. I'd like to hear Will's story. Of course, I know.
I would love to have Caden Borshing's dad come in.
Well, that might be something I'm gonna put you in charge of working on, baby.
Yeah, I think because he's kind of helping Caden throughout his whole career. Right. He's been a former head coach. I think he'd be a great guy to come in and kind of talk about how the recruiting process goes. How is it? Especially with NIL and social media, I think that would be kind of a cool little.
He's got his own media company. That dude's got a lot of followers. He's got it going on his media stuff.
But Kane's dad is
love to hear
on top of it.
But even so, let's give our social media stuff out right now. So if you could give us a follow at Chapped A Podcast, CHAPPEDA Podcast, and follow us on all social media platforms, we greatly appreciate it. And sponsors, we're always asking. Yeah. Coach, what you holding today?
I'm holding my Diet Coke. My son.
Show it to him.
My son took my last Diet Cherry out of the fridge.
Party foul.
When he and his girlfriend came over to play cards over our house last night, he took it and I looked at him. I'm like, dude, that's my last one. He goes, yeah, I found it.
Your marketing worked. Your marketing worked.
Yeah, Andrew, you owe me a 12-pack.
That's right. But anyway, sponsors, we need you. Gold Bond, where you at? Gold Bond, we're right here. Listen, what could go better on a Chapped Ass podcast than Gold Bond, Coach? I mean, come on, that's a perfect fit right there, right? In Gatorade, we're sitting out here waiting on you, baby. So, and I'm usually in my sleeveless hoodie stuff, but I'm gonna give a shameless plug for Lululemon because
I'm plugging.
Yeah, let's go Braves. My wife spent way too much money and bought me a Lululemon shirt, so I'm donning it today and hoping it looks okay on camera.
Yeah, right.
To take away the face for radio version of it.
No, that's good. It's good.
But no, seriously though, let's get into a deep dive on the NFL draft and kind of tie that into some fantasy stuff.
Sure.
And just kind of go through some stuff. Anything you want to interject, obviously feel free.
But I think you know more and take a little more to this to heart than I do.
I love football. I love the fantasy football.
I'll tell you my philosophy on the draft and everything else.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. But I think that most of the time when we're doing drafts or watching the NFL draft, we're doing it almost from a fantasy perspective. If it's not one of your children, you know what I mean, or somebody you coach,
or someone you know,
or someone you coached or know, correct?
Or you follow on your team,
absolutely.
That you follow,
But I mean, so when you're looking at the fantasy aspects, this year was a deep draft, but to me it was a heavy. I know the over was on the offensive players. I don't consider offensive linemen as the offensive draft part.
But even then,
you still won. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Some really
where's
cool...
my money for that?
Right. I bought you a Diet Coke. You got some cherry Diet Coke coming.
Oh, there we go. All right.
But so like, I mean, again, the draft is primarily about fantasy stuff, in my opinion, because you're not an expert on what's happening for talent evaluation. I'm not an expert on evaluations, but we've claimed to be. But we don't know, like, we look out for our favorite teams, which is the Cowboys for me, the Dolphins for you, which will remain nameless. We won't hold that against you.
I can't watch it.
But so, I mean, for fantasy purposes, I have several leagues. Like, do you do any IDP leagues?
I do. I'm in a lot of different things. But I don't like keeping dynasties in football, just because I think football turns over too much. And it's kind of like you're playing... Like you're gambling.
Right.
You're back to gambling again.
Right.
I like having a clean slate for our drafts. I've done keepers before. I've done it where we have dynasties. And it's it kind of kills me because I just don't like it. Baseball, I'll do it all day long because baseball contracts are longer. They have longer service time.
Sure.
Football, the tread wears out pretty fast on a lot of these guys, and it's not really fun to do.
Well, the football guys get their guaranteed money up front, so they're expendable shortly after, as soon as they get a hiccup in their game.
Yeah, they can be waived and their contract's done. So I don't really like that whole point of it.
Just a quick stat, I didn't even think about this, but I heard a thing about Trey Turner yesterday. I think he signed like a 12-year deal. They were talking about him on the radio yesterday, where he may be 41 years old playing shortstop in Philly because it's a guaranteed contract.
It's guaranteed.
Either way, he's getting paid. I don't know if he...
Yeah, you're not going to DH that guy.
But Lord, 41 years old. Like I said, the last 3 years are just a waste on those long-term deals. In most cases, not when you get them young. Not when you get them young.
They might buy him out.
Yeah, it's almost just like a foregone conclusion that money at the end doesn't matter as much.
They just didn't want him to go.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, because...
But again, that's part of being a GM in baseball. You got to look at these contracts, and you could tell that that's starting to hurt both the Mets and the Phillies because both their shortstops are getting old.
That's right.
And where are they?
Yeah, one's on the IL.
Right. So,
yeah, for sure.
But they're also the two worst records in baseball. But anyway, go back.
Well, no, I'm just asking about dynasty leagues, individual defensive player leagues,
and then
keeper leagues.
You got seasons that you look at in football, right? You got the free agent signing period,
right?
That you look at and you go, oh my gosh. And I know you're gonna try to hit on this, and I know I will. You look, this is a great fit for this player, but then you have the second season of the off season, which is the draft, and you're going, well, then now this free agent pickup doesn't mean as much, or it means more. So you kind of have to look at it like that. And I don't believe in dynasty.
Yes.
Let's just put it down like that. So go ahead.
Well, no, but so I'm in an ID.
Yeah. What do you do? Like,
I'm in a bunch.
Yeah, I know
of
you do a lot more than I do. You treat this like a job.
But I don't treat that as a job, honey. I promise. I just enjoy it a lot, and she lets me get away with it. So, but Dave and I go crazy. But I'm in shout out to all my leagues. But I'm in a couple redrafts. One with you and Howie. I'm in a redraft with my boys in the Misfortune 500 that I came in second place this year in. The 3FL guys with Dave and those guys, and I'm going to go into that for just a quick second. And then I've got a Limbacher League, I call it, which is the Beer Belly Championship trophy somewhere around
I saw
here.
that.
So there's 4 or 5 trophies just from last year floating around for my fantasy. And then we do like 4 to 5 best ball leagues, which is kind of a set it and forget it.
I like best ball.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so you do some. I didn't know if you did some.
I love best ball.
Okay.
I'll do best ball and everything.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to Underdog.
Love it.
And
shout out Underdog. Sponsors.
No, seriously, Underdog has a great way to do it, and I haven't had to put any money in there in years. I just keep winning money, rolling it on over into the next best ball. Helps me draft for my fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives me an idea of where players are kind of falling. So that's why I use that as a tool for my fantasy.
That so reminds me of I won't say when and where, but of you drafted 2 best ball baseball teams last year at a softball doubleheader. That's how fast you can go through with that in draft. So that's pretty quick. It's not these long.
You were cracking up.
I was laughing.
We were over it. I was watching softball.
I love it.
I totally forgot.
I love it. I love it. And then you're like, boom, boom, no, I'm still drafting. And you look up, and then it's your turn.
Hey, I was going to say it's my turn again, and then I would ask you, like, who would you take on the list to? Don't know who any of them.
Did we win any of them?
Yeah.
Baby, let's go. Because you know why? Because we're good at what we do.
That's right.
In fantasy, we are amazing, right? Not in non-real life things, we're really good.
I'm telling you, I feel like I am part of Step Brothers when we did the pictures. I managed a team Manage a baseball team. Oh, Little League? No. Fantasy.
Yeah. Right. I got GM of the year in my fantasy baseball league. So I just want to give a shout out to the 3FL. I want to tell you how intense this league is. Now you can imagine with Dave, you know how the baseball league is that he runs for us. The football league is you start so many positions. You can have different formations, but we play 2 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 defensive backs, and we have backups. And we have long-term contracts, as you know. So it's so intense. So there's a lot of things that go into that, but I love all the different
nuances. And you're looking
nuances.
at weekly matchups too?
Absolutely, yeah. But I love all the nuances of that. So we draft like a 30, 35-man roster when it's all done, and then...
I think you have to.
Yes. Well, Matt, when you're counting defensive players, you got to.
Well, you have to. Plus, you have all these extra buys now that kind of play into it.
But so cool. There's some cool scoring out there. Like we have home field advantage, so the home team gets 2 points automatically at the start. Well, that makes sense. That's kind of like real ball, right?
Yeah.
But say you have a quarterback that gets hurt in the first quarter, he scored 2 fantasy points, and then so we put a backup in. So the backup, because if in real football you wouldn't play without a quarterback, right? So if your backup scored 30 points,
you get that. That's best ball.
Well, you subtract the difference in those two, and you get those net points. So,
okay.
But I think that's a good system. But again, I love fantasy football.
It's kind of like best ball.
Yes.
Very similar.
Yes. Well, you got to get on the cut line where you can pick some people up. But yes, 100%.
That's good.
100%. But yeah, let's get into the draft real quick. I've got some stats up here that I want to go through, Coach, and I want to give some shout outs to the SEC. But
go ahead.
In the NFL, so again, I was wrong. I think the over-under on first-round trades was 5.5 to 6.5, and I told you it was going to be significantly less.
And I said
more.
I said way more.
8.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
There was 41 total trades, including a couple of deals with the interdivision foes, which that's crazy to me. I think the Cowboys and Philly with an F, not with a PH, but Philly, I think they had 2 different sets of trades. I think they traded maybe in the first round and back in the 4th round, which is crazy you don't see a lot of intradivisional trades like that within the same division. You know, we're not trading a lot with the Mets and the Phillies in most cases.
No.
In most cases, of course. But I want to go through some SEC stuff. I just have these crazy SEC stats that I want to share real quick on the draft. Because, again, I feel like that is kind of regional. We're in the Southeast, and we're dominant in all sports. I mean, as Power 5, Power 4 schools go, we are but the SEC, your schools, my school, Auburn, Alabama.
If you were a GM.
Yeah.
What schools are you looking at to draft from? I mean, where are you going to build from?
Give me Alabama, give me Georgia, give me Ohio State, man. Let's go.
I mean, how can you go wrong when you know that you're getting the best players that they're getting out of high school, developing them, or NIL? They're going to go there.
Right? Absolutely.
And Indiana is coming in hot.
Absolutely. Well, we got a little money to spend nowadays. It's legal, so you can pursue it differently. And I'm not going to say bottom of champion.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, if I'm a GM in the NFL, I'm looking at athletes. If I want a pure athlete that's probably game ready, I'm going there.
Right. But listen to these stats, Coach. There were 7 first-rounders drafted from the SEC this year in the first round.
Wow.
6 teams had first-rounders taken. 6 different SEC teams had a first-rounder this year out of 32 picks. That's not bad. There was 16. Every team in the SEC had a player drafted. 74 players in the SEC drafted in the first 6 rounds, which was a new record in the draft history.
It's crazy.
Yep, they averaged 50 selections since 2006. And Alabama and your alma mater and Texas A&M had 10 players drafted each, which led it. And then Georgia, while I was up in Athens, I got to see it and celebrate it with all the locals and everything. Georgia had 8 come around as well. So, but they've had 81 first-round draft choices since 2020. 81 first-round draft choices in the last 6 years. That's pretty impressive. So crazy. I guess my suggestion to you is if you want to play in the NFL,
you're going
play in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just absolutely no question about it.
Yeah, if you're not in one of the big conferences,
you're
not getting noticed.
Right.
Which kind of leads me to a lot of other things too. You know, I'm on the other end of this.
Right.
You know, there's always gems that you don't get in the draft.
Right.
And people always are like, oh, you know, every time I look at the draft, this is the crapshoot that you look at. You know, I look at Mel Kiper and I go, God.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
Well, he's a guy that they chunked his head in the inkwell because his hair was jet black for some reason.
Oh, wow.
It was like, dude, who rolled this guy out? But, you know, everybody cheers and boos, and you see all the fans, they go crazy. They don't know.
Right.
They don't know.
That's so true.
We don't know.
We don't know.
It's like taking a lottery ticket saying, what do you want to do? Oh, let's scratch it off and let's see what happens. We don't know if we're going to win or lose.
Right.
It's a crapshoot, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, I kind of was like, I'm on the other end. I'm like, I want to see what teams make up of, because when you look at rosters, you don't always see a roster that's full of Alabama, full of Georgia. You see him.
You do at Philadelphia Eagles.
Well,
Howie Roseman knows what he's doing.
He does.
He listened to us.
He does.
Take
does
the
listen
SEC and Ohio State.
Absolutely. But, you take a look at other rosters. You got to fill them in, right?
Right.
How many do you think undrafted? You know this answer, but undrafted, you were probably shocked by that number.
I was amazed.
So the last 2 years,
Coincidentally,
the same number of players that were undrafted.
Undrafted free agent signings.
Undrafted free agent signings. Like, you don't get in your name isn't called.
You weren't picked in the first 7 rounds.
You are having a shot to make a team, making it the hard way. Like the old school way, you go to high school, you're in a tryout.
Right.
57 players each of the last 2 years.
That's crazy.
Were on an NFL opening day roster.
Which means
undrafted.
Which means you can still chase the American dream in the NFL if you're not drafted, which is that's really cool. So I saw something yesterday too. I think
that kind of, you have to fit the system,
right? Well, there's a yin and a yang. So do you want to get drafted in the 7th round where they control you, or pick the team you want to go to that fits you best for your skills?
If I was a 6th or 7th rounder, I'd be like, please don't draft me.
Right.
Because I don't want to be locked in. I want to be like, there's some collateral there that they got to try to keep you, but it's not as much where you can dicker and find out what's best for you in the system, and the system wants you. So I think as a player, like we have a kid from Etowah, Brock, Rex Steiner. He wasn't drafted, but he knew he probably wasn't going to be drafted, but he also knew there were teams that were interested in him, and he ended up signing a free agent signing with Tennessee. Probably a great fit for him.
Absolutely.
And if you're a special teamer, that's or a tight end or a position player that can fill depth in these things. Yeah, he's a freak athlete too.
Another baller since birth. That kid is a bad. Excuse me, he's a baddie.
Oh,
yeah, I almost slipped up.
He almost did a chap right there.
He's a baddie, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Drafts are fun. You should watch the reaction to everybody. You hear Mel Kiper, oh, this is my player.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper? I just have to say it every time I hear his name.
But it's about what, and we don't, as a fan, understand systems a lot of times, and what they're trying to do, and so it's a player that fits the system and a need.
Right.
So, that's where I'm at with a draft.
Well, and I'll tie this in further. I think I've mentioned this to you before, but the term is draft capital. And you and I don't have a clue about draft capital. Draft capital becomes draft capital once the kid is picked.
Yep.
So if you say he's a first round talent, the McCoy kid was supposed to be drafted like 22 by the Cowboys. He slid to like the 6th round because of some knee issues. So you just don't ever know. But the NFL is telling you about the draft capital. You're not telling the NFL about it. We're just wishing and hoping.
Right.
And that's not really good strategy.
And the only thing I could tell you after watching the draft, get yourself an agent.
Absolutely. Pavia. Yeah, golly. You need to go watch that interview I was telling you about. Watch Gruden's face when he tells him that he's representing himself. It is bizarre.
Yeah.
But it tells everything you need to know, because Gruden's basically saying, get an agent. Get an agent. Get an agent. You didn't sign anywhere. There
have
might be
an
a reason.
advisor. Have someone that's going to help you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
If you're in college, have an advisor.
Well, let's just, I want to touch on this kid because I think it's a good story, but let's talk about the first pick. I mean, it was no surprise to anybody, but I'll let you cover him for a second.
Oh, no, you and I both said he was going to be number 1. I think everyone knew.
It was, easy, yeah.
I'm not sold on him.
Right.
I love the story about him. Love the story about his family. Love the story about how he went through Indiana. But, I mean, talk about a system that he fell into. And, where did all those wide receivers and tight ends end up?
In the draft.
And
early rounds,
right?
Yeah, so he was loaded.
And you got to think, they had speed, they had separation.
Yep.
The windows that he was throwing into were like, you could drive a truck in.
Yeah, bigger, and much bigger.
In the NFL, those windows aren't going to be there.
That's
and
right.
I think it's not going to translate well for him. I think that's part of the reason why they went with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I think Cousins is going to mentor him too, but I'd say there's no better mentor.
I don't think he wants a mentor. He didn't mentor Penix. He didn't want to.
Well, I understand. Well,
it's a job.
But they did him a little bit dirty here.
They did.
on drafting Penix, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was
blindsided him.
They did blindside him.
And I think Kirk Cousins is a fine fella. He seems like a good representation for any organization.
I firmly believe if he started day 1 for the Falcons last year, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Well, so again, we said it's unanimous on Mendoza, but my oldest, we're talking about fantasy football. My oldest, Mary Kate, she's 26, and she dives into fantasy football. Like she was in 2 leagues this year. She won one of them, which is cool. Like, the chap off the old block instead of the chip off the old block. So congratulations, Mary Kate. But I'm just saying, everybody plays fantasy football: men, women, boys, girls, all ages.
Even my wife. We had a family one for the first time. My son and I, we started it all up, and we had a family one with our extended family down in Florida. And even my wife was like, in the draft, we did the draft at our house.
Yeah.
And, we're sitting on the phones, and we had 4 people on the phones with each other. And my wife's like, "Who do we pick?" And this guy sounds like he's good. She's looking them all up.
Yeah.
So she knew these players now too.
She had her own team, or she was with you?
No, she had her own team.
Oh, that baby. How'd she do?
Well, early on.
Yeah.
And then she had the injury bug.
Gotcha.
She lost Neighbors. She lost Connor.
Gotcha.
She had some good players.
Yeah.
And she was in first for a while, and then all of a sudden injuries just.
But then you get into it. I mean, it's on all day Sunday.
You know
Monday,
who won
Thursday.
that one, right?
I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah.
Family leagues, baby.
Yeah, family leagues.
Atta baby. So, switching.
Sorry,
gears,
guys.
Mendoza is a baddie because of, in my opinion, it's just a heartwarming story. The fact that his mom's sick. My daughter, the reason I tied in Mary Kate is because she loves him, and because of that, I do too. But he stayed home at the draft because he's got a sick parent. Just all the things. I mean, the first person he runs to hug after the championship is his mother. And, I mean, it's just like, I just think it's a heartwarming story. So I wish the kid well. I really, really, really hope he does well. But I'm sort of like you. The jury's still out on that.
I'm not rooting against the kid.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to root against anyone that is pursuing a dream. There's no way. I'm not making fun of you, and I'm not rooting against you. This is your dream, right?
That's right.
So,
yes, sir. Chapped A Podcast, baby.
That's right. Looking for those sponsors.
That's right. Sponsors too. Let's go.
But, I do believe that there's going to be some major growth that this kid's going to have to go through, and I don't think this is a good situation for him to be in.
Well, if you're the first round pick, you're going to a team that was crappy the last few years, or at least last year.
No offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just.
Yeah.
You got to take some time.
But you got Genty, you got Bowers. I mean, they've got some.
They have some great weapons. Don't get me wrong. He has weapons there.
Yes.
But come on. I mean, you got to let that kid grow and not expect the world from him in the first day.
I agree. Well, I agree on all those first round picks, and the hit and miss rate on those first round quarterbacks is a lot lower than you would actually think. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that have been drafted in the first round last few years that have not.
They're bums.
Yeah, well.
I wouldn't say bums, but that's a bad way to put it. Because I'm just trying to say I'm not rooting for them. But
they were college superstars.
Yeah,
but they're not NFLers.
It hasn't translated to success in the NFL, and I think that again in the NFL, the quarterback position is the hardest position to really hit on.
Yes.
You could fill in gaps when you don't hit on another position.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Bijan Robinson was going to be a stud when the Falcons drafted him. You knew that like Drake London for the Falcons was going to be good when we drafted him. Kyle Pitts, we hoped he was going to be well.
What was he taking? The number 4 pick, number 7 pick, something
somewhere.
like that?
I think it might have been 6.
6 or 7. Okay, but I'm still though. I mean, but tight ends are going to take 2 or 3 years to develop.
But Brock Bowers, we knew he was going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew.
Yeah.
We were all mad in Atlanta that he didn't get taken by us.
I kind of like that Delp kid that came out, that tight end that was his backup.
Yeah.
He stayed an extra year.
So we know that position skill players are going to be fine. But when you have to be put in that leadership role and to make decisions and have people follow you, it's a little more difficult. Whereas you can just go out and be you.
New coaching staff, new organization, new offensive coordinator, new offense, new players you're throwing to. They're not all on the same page. But that's what the early days before the OTAs and the rookie mini camps and whatnot. But I've got something I would love to talk to you about because I think that you probably are going to disagree with me on this.
I am.
But I got to go to Arizona real quick in this draft, Coach, and the drafting of Jeremiah Love. He's the best running back in the class. I get it. He is a great player, a great kid. He's going to be a star. Mm-hmm. So I probably just sold myself on why I should be okay with this, but I'm not okay with them drafting Love. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, Atlanta lost Tyler Algiers to the Cardinals, and
which is where Love went.
Well, I mean, you're talking about players when we start looking at it as a fantasy, right? Everybody was like, okay, Algiers to Arizona, great fit. Connor, who knows what's going to end up happening with him with his injury that he's going to be coming back from.
Right.
He's had a lot of rubber on the tire, kind of worn down on him. But I always found a way to get him on my team, so I could.
Right.
But because he was such a good deal and he was consistent.
Right.
Algiers probably lost the most fantasy value from the draft of a position player because Love is a stud. You know, you went from Algiers being the everyday, every second touch back in the backfield to now being in a possible 3-way share.
Or worse.
Yeah. So I think that really hurts Algiers. But I love the pick.
Right. You love the pick. So
because he's a stud. He's going to be the game changer for the future for the Cardinals.
I will concur on that.
And I do believe that at this point, the Cardinals are in a rebuild in a way. You know, they're going to go with a new quarterback. They're going to, you know, they're going to have to find a quarterback somewhere along the line.
There are more running backs in the meeting room for the Cardinals than there are offensive linemen in the Cardinals meeting rooms. I'm just saying they're so stacked. They signed Connor last year to a 2-year extension. Of course, he got all that money up front, so cutting him is no big deal.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be on the team.
And you know what's heartbreaking? Or I shouldn't say heartbreaking. Do you know that he had to go out and do a pick on day 2 or day 3 and do the pick for the Cardinals? It's like
after they've already picked.
Yeah, after he knows it's short-lived. Yeah, it's like
after they've already signed a free agent and now they got.
He's like, I'm already here and I got to roll, so just I'm gonna go ahead and roll with it.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's got a great story.
Great story and
beat cancer.
Yeah, I
love it. Yeah, he's a stud.
And I loved him when he was freaking
good ambassador. Yeah, good ambassador. He's a good ambassador for football. Though. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. But
the rubber on the tire is getting worn down on him.
But I guess what I go back to is the draft capital. If you're going to draft Love right there, which they did, then the NFL is telling you this is where he slots. Regardless of what you think or I think, this is the NFL telling you draft capital states he's a...
You look at needs, but then you also look at what you're going to run, and then
the systems.
Yeah. But then you got to take the best player available. And
right.
Without a doubt, to me, he could have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Anyone that takes him is going to get a surefire.
But for whatever reason now, the running backs are just, and I know that, again, I'm looking at it from a fantasy perspective. You got to have running backs. But like the NFL has kind of shied away from running backs early in drafts, unless it's Bijan, unless it's Love. I mean, there's not a ton of
Well, that tells you a lot about Love.
Right. But because it also tells you about what I don't know about because they're still picking him early. And, you know.
Well, he was slotted to be in the top 5.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I know that, but I'm saying where he is slotted dictates to me what the NFL is telling about him. Carnell Tate, would you say he'd be a top 4 pick? Me neither, but he was. So there you go. Again, they believe in the draft capital.
They believe that he's going to fit in that system better than anyone else.
Yes, 100%.
So again, we can look on paper all the time.
Right.
You got to look at systems and how is it going to work. And, you know, that's why, you know, the whole media thing about NFL and betting on NFL, you can't do it.
Right.
Like, I think you're kind of barking up the wrong tree. I don't think anyone would have picked what was picked in the top 10 correctly.
Nobody. Well, I listen to a lot of fantasy radio, and they talk about mocking a draft, mock draft, and to me, that is a exercise in futility. What a waste of time! It's like
because you can't jump on that hamster wheel.
Right, exactly. But you don't know trades, you don't know what people are looking to do on the back lines, and that's why I say you sort of have to wait till the draft shakes out to even really be able to talk about it.
I like watching the trades more.
I do too.
And I thought the Vikings got hosed on what they got. They gave up to what they got. And I think the Vikings lost out on that one.
Well, while we're on it still, though, I want to bring up one player, which, again, it's your alma mater kid. Because to me, last year, Shedeur Sanders was very polarizing in the draft. People had him as high as number 3. And what he go in like the 6th round because of some other issues.
I think that was a slap to the dad's face.
A lot of different issues there. But I think Ty Simpson was a polarizing kid coming out of Alabama, the quarterback. I mean, people had him in the top 4 at one time. And then people had him in the 2nd round, trading back up to the early, late first.
I thought he would be 1st round.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
the number 2 quarterback, I would say.
Is he going to be a starting quarterback? That's where you got to really look at it. Was there a really, truly a starting quarterback out there?
We'll see.
I mean, Mendoza, they all think he was. Who knows? I mean, next year, I've already looked at what next year's number 1, Heisman choice would be, and it's going to be Manning.
Right.
So, that's a quarterback position. So we're kind of looking at stuff.
And we've got and I think next year, like I said, this was a big defensive heavy draft class this year. Next year will be a big heavy offensive class. So fantasy football players, if you don't do IDP and you don't do defense and you don't do dynasty, then wait till next year to grab your offensive players. I'm going to tell you who could be a surprise number 1 pick for next year as well, besides Manning, is the Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. That is a receiver that I would be sitting on. So I'm sure I'll be outbid on him, but he's a stud coming out. So there was 2 running backs taken in the entire 1st round.
Yep.
And this is crazy coincidence. Do you know that they both went to the same school?
No.
Yeah, they both.
Oh yeah, they're both
Notre Dame guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if Love was that good, then why is this kid being drafted in the in the first round too? But the NFL, like I said, in general, they probably know more than we do.
They do.
Yeah, they have a lot bigger scouting departments than you.
Like if you're a scout for the NFL, you got to be really good.
Absolutely. Well, you got to.
I mean, it's like baseball, but for football, you're going and looking at all these combines and you're looking at things, and they do the test mentally. They do
the Wonderlic.
The Wonderlic.
Yep.
God, dude.
Well, and then
how bad would I fail that test?
I don't even know if I can spell Wonderlic. Right. But you get but they're seeing these dudes and they're basically down into their underwear, almost butt naked, seeing they're just evaluating every single thing about them, like how high they can jump, how far they can jump, how fast they can run, and then ask them like, if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
The best linemen in the draft, they're all, short arms.
Yeah, right. The defensive kid that slipped.
We always laugh at ours. He has small hands.
That's right. Just makes the football look bigger.
Yeah, I mean, we had this one guy that's no longer in our league. He'd be like, oh, he has small hands. He won't do well.
Right.
Come on, dude.
Well, I want to jump real quick into my Cowboys. I'm a Dallas Cowboy homer, as you know, so I loved their draft this year. I thought they did a really good job, which is surprising.
Yep.
But the Cowboys traded up, I think, with the Giants one spot. And they got Caleb Downs, a Georgia kid that's done well, won a state championship at Mill Creek in 22.
Yep.
23 McDonald's All-American.
He bounced around. He used that NAL.
Yeah. Well, they all do now, and I'm okay.
Why not,
I support it, right? I mean, but he's a really, really seemingly humble kid. Mm-hmm. But I mean, when you can play at Ohio State, we just mentioned it, but when you can play at Ohio State and start and be a super success, and you can do the same thing at the University of Alabama, in different seasons as the same kid. I mean, he's just an animal. So that's a great pick. I'm proud of that kid. And again, a local Georgia kid gone crazy and gone wild for us. So I love it. And I'm going to leave one more sneaky pick. I won't go too far into the Cowboys. One other sneaky pick is going to be LT Overton. He's a beast from Alabama with a mean streak, 6 miles wide. Oh, yeah. And he can play a little D tackle, play a little D end. He's going to come out
He can move around. Like they did that in Alabama.
I was going to say, and what college did I say he went to? So there you go. So Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, draft. Get them on your teams, guys.
I mean, you're not going to those schools because you're bad.
That's right. But they still ended up with like 20 less picks in the Big Ten versus the SEC for first rounders, which still says a lot about the SEC. So we've addressed the systems and stuff and some of these things. Do you have any draft busts in recent memory that you can think of?
I'm not going to.
Do you care? Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, I don't really look at that. I honestly do not really put my heart and soul in the NFL draft.
Understood.
And it's not one of those must-see TVs for me.
I used to watch the NBA draft in the 80s.
I'll put it on, and we went out to lunch, and I was, we're in the 5th round. Okay.
Yeah. Speed it up.
Like we're still doing this.
Right. 3 days later.
Why?
Right. 3 days later.
Why?
Well, then we were excited to see what the UDFAs were going to be. So it's almost like get it over so we can see what some of our guys that we know. Some of the guys we know are going to have happen for them.
Right.
But I'm going to give you 2 busts. In my opinion, I think Tony Mandrich. I don't know if you remember Tony Mandrich, but he was the best lineman ever.
Yeah, and Bosworth was another one I would say.
Well, I think Bosworth made it a few years, but I'm with you. But I think, okay, yeah. Well, I love.
He was pre-social.
He had a good haircut.
Pre-social media hype.
Yeah, I loved his haircut though.
Great in movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, still is. And Dr. Pepper commercials.
And Dr. Pepper.
That's right.
But, yeah. And
Dr. Pepper. Wait, can we do 2 sodas at once?
But here, how about your quarterback position? Who was the biggest bust that we know of?
Ooh. Well, there's I remember Achilles Smith getting drafted by Cincinnati years ago.
The one he cried like a baby in an interview. Who was that from San Diego?
Oh, Ryan Leaf. Well,
he cried like a baby.
He was hiring 2 kites is why he was crying
too. He was crying like a baby.
That's a bad story too. But a sad one for me is I don't even know. Do you remember Andre Bruce?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well you're a Falcons guy too. Mm-hmm. So Andre Bruce was drafted number 1 out of my guys, the Auburn University, and he was a disaster. Didn't make it. I think he ended up robbing a Domino's pizza guy with a. Yeah. Think about it. You order Domino's pizza to be delivered, and you rob him at your front door with a pellet gun.
Yeah.
Is that very smart? I'd say maybe some character issues, but anyway,
that's
hopefully
I'll
past that.
Because in NIL, he wouldn't have to.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's why they were trying to we got to protect these athletes. We got to allow them to have their money.
War Eagle Andre Bruce. I wasn't being a jerk there, but you want to transition maybe going from the oblong ball to the hard ball with some seams on it?
Yeah, I mean the Braves had another series win. They took care of Philly. So first team to 20.
Love it. Let's go Braves.
That's why I wore this today because
yes,
the Braves. The Braves are looking
dominating.
Great.
Best record in baseball, right?
Best record in baseball.
Yep.
Sale.
Your boy.
My man.
Your boy.
Love
That's
Chris
right.
Sale. God, he's so good. And he's so humble too.
Yes.
He came through where he wasn't even drafted. He wasn't even really being given scholarships. His dad, I think, had to, describe him like he's all arms and elbows,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
kind of a deal.
Yeah.
To even try to get him a look, and I think he ended up going to what, USF or UCF, and that was the only place he can go. And now look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where Major League Baseball, I think, is totally different than NFL. Like by the time you're in college, you're coming on out.
Right.
You're pretty much defined of who you are. Major League Baseball, it takes years
Absolutely.
to kind of get your craft down for some
You don't
people.
really get fast tracked in the Major League Baseball. You got to pay your time in the minors in most cases. Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why you could do Dynasty for baseball more so than NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Understood.
So, anyway.
But does that make your heart happy to see the Mets at 9-19?
By the way, two worst records in baseball. I think I've said that before earlier. Two worst records in Major League Baseball belong to the NL East.
You want to hear something really cool that'll make your heart warm as a Braves fan? I'm going to throw two numbers out for you. 3 and 25.
3 and 25.
The last 28 games records for the Mets and the Phillies combined.
Against the Braves?
Period. No, period. Their last.
Oh, yeah, they're combined. They're 3 and 20.
Yes. After they both lost yesterday as we swept the Phillies again.
No, we didn't sweep them.
That's sweep. I'm sorry.
We took the series.
I'm sorry.
We took the series.
Yeah.
But that was,
yeah.
You know.
But we haven't lost a series yet either.
Nope. Only team that hasn't.
That's right.
Which is why we're 20-9 at Atlanta.
Well, that's what Bobby was all about. Just win series. Just
win or tie a series. If you're on the road, tie it. If you're at home, win it.
That's right.
And if you do that, you're going to be a playoff team.
But that's a motivating factor for the Braves to be able to say, hey, I'm going to try to win this series. Like now it's a rubber match, your best of 3.
I do believe the Braves schedule this upcoming month is going to be hard because we only have, 9 home games in May.
You would know that better than me. I don't know the schedules as well as you do.
I work 2 of them, so I work this upcoming week against Detroit.
I'm going to come down and see you, I think.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, day game, right?
Yeah, day game.
Any of these other things
special.
stick out? Any of these other things stick out here?
Yeah, so the Reds are still up in first.
Okay.
But the Cubs are coming on strong.
Right.
And they've been lighting it up.
Right.
So they are hot.
Right.
And I do see them kind of overtaking them the way they're playing right now. And I don't like how the Braves have to be matched up against them in the upcoming weeks or so.
Right.
Because that's going to be 2 tough series in a row. We play them a couple times. The Dodgers still hanging tight. They're only a half game ahead of San Diego.
Go Padres!
Yeah, go the Monks.
Anybody else? Anybody but the Dodgers.
And again, I'm telling you, Mason Miller, closer. He has a great intro now. Great song to come out to. Pretty much a highlight when he comes into the game. So I love watching that. I'm not really far off on any of my picks there. You are, but Milwaukee's bumped up to tied for last, and your
get my little Pittsburgh Pirates over there. 4 games above 500, baby.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates are above 400, 4 games above. Your Phillies, who you chose to win it all, 9-19,
makes my heart happy still.
Yeah. Colorado with 13 wins.
Yeah,
and Philly and Mets with 9.
They might have already.
Doesn't seem right.
Colorado may have already beaten their over/under for the season, as bad as they've been. But I want to say one thing. Shout out to Connor Griffin. Hit his first home run I believe on his birthday when he turned 20 on Friday. Hit his first home run. So way to go, kid. I mean, that kid is the future of the Pirates, future of the league as well. I mean, he's a big time stud,
Absolutely.
and I think he's going.
He's going to be good.
He's going to be a media darling for a while too. So just a cool story to see. Yeah. So in the American League, anything catch your eye here? I mean,
well, with Boston firing their manager and coaching staff, crazy. I didn't think they would be the first ones to fire. I really truly thought Philly and Mets would have done something right after Sunday to today. Nothing. No, it's like crickets over there. I don't know why, but Boston said we've seen enough of this already, and they moved on.
Well, if the Mets aren't the next team to fire their staff or at least their manager, then they're not paying attention. Cohen needs to wake up, quit spending money, and pay attention to us.
Caden Borshading's dad, Jason, knows the new manager for the Red Sox.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
yeah,
he kind of was talking to me
Who
about
is
that.
it? I didn't even know who it was over the weekend. Okay, yeah.
But he was like, oh yeah, I know him, and he's great dude, and I'm like, he's got a good chance. I'm like, cool.
There's 8 dudes that are unemployed right now from Boston from over the weekend, but they deserve it. I mean, they're expected to win.
They're expected to win in Boston
in those big markets.
But the GM should be the first one because the GM didn't help them at all in the offseason.
I'm gonna fire myself.
Yeah, right. I mean, the GM's kind of doing the first line to say it's their fault, but it's really kind of your fault when you don't produce a team that can win.
Well, I want to tease a couple things. I know we talked to baseballers, we talked to footballers, we talked to basketballers. Like I said, we've knocked out a few guess right now. We've
Yeah.
got some big ones coming up.
Hockey is a long playoff season too. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't say this before, but and being from New York, you don't have the Rangers, the Islanders, or the Devils in the playoffs. That's the first time in decades that's happened.
Get the puck out of here.
Yeah, get the puck out of here. Put
you-
the biscuit in the basket.
That's right.
But Boston's playing Buffalo right
Okay.
now. That's Buffalo pretty much demolished them last night. But the hockey's going on full swing. That's a long playoff. Basketball's a long playoff. Like every series is like 2 weeks. So,
Right. Yes.
Christmas.
Well, that's why I think next week
Christmas time next year, we'll
talk
have
about
the
it.
results.
Well, that's why I think let's bypass the NBA this week, and
Sure.
we'll just handle the football and the baseball, which we've already done, and
Yeah.
then we'll come back and then we'll wrap those first round series up next week on our next podcast.
Fantasy watch for baseball.
Okay.
Who's the one player that you would want to have right now at this point?
I would go with James Wood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Woody.
I would too. He's fantastic.
Although Olsen is killing it too, man. He's barreling the ball. Every time I watch him, he's just crushing, even on hard outs, loud outs. I mean, you've seen it firsthand, but he's crushing. What about you?
I'm always going to take Schwarbaum.
Okay,
Kyle
that's right.
Schwarber. I mean, he's
Your other man crush.
Yeah, my other man. He had 2 bombs against the Braves. He was the only one that was actually damaging the Braves.
Did he drop to his knee to hit him?
He hit one out last night.
Usually he drops to a knee to hit at least one of the two he hits
yesterday
out.
afternoon he hit one out. And he hit one the night. So he had like 2 or 3 home runs in the series. So he's starting to get fire. Yeah, I think I'm always a Schwarbaum fan. In the
But
National
if
League.
you want to know more about like who that I would be hot on in fantasy baseball, just tell you to look at my team. I don't know if you realize I'm only like 20 points ahead in that, right? Of all of y'all, including you. I don't know how many. Are you in second?
I'm in second.
And how many points did I say I was ahead of you? 20? Something like that.
I think I closed the gap last night.
Okay, well I must have fallen asleep early.
Yeah, but I think you drafted really well this year with the. I think you auctioned because we do an auction. That's totally
Very difficult.
very difficult, and you don't have money. I froze a lot of players.
Yes.
So I didn't have a lot of money to spend. You did.
Yes.
I
Small
really,
market team going in,
and
Coach.
you finally got your stolen bases going, and you're crushing everybody in that, which I'm not.
Right.
So there's your big gap.
Yeah.
But fantasy-wise, I think if I had to go and take one pitcher, one player, if I had Soriano from the Angels, like that's a dark horse. Like no one knew about him. How many? His ERA is
Like 0.24 or something crazy.
It's like
0.3 or
it's
something.
an MLB record.
Yeah.
For this time of year, after 6 starts, right?
I just worry about those kind of guys that just go from to here.
Well, and you're
To
playing
here.
for Anaheim.
I just worry because you see
Are
an
you kidding?
Well, I'm just saying you see an
Did you get a
explosion. You see an explosion in stats from one year to the
Yeah.
next. I worry about performance enhancing
Sure.
things. That's
like,
all I'm saying.
It's like our guy that
2 years in a row.
jerk Profar,
You know what you call a guy that gets tested for PEDs back-to-back years?
dumb,
Unemployed.
unemployed, dumb.
So let's wrap it up, Coach. Sponsors, again, we're here. Please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. And I'd also say, again, reminders, please follow us on our social media pages at Chapped A Podcast.
Yep.
And you good, Coach?
I'm wonderful.
On Chapped Ass Podcast, A Face for Radio, I'm Chap.
And I'm Coach.
And we out.
Peace.